The standout feature everyone talks about with the Akir chair is that big, thick seat pad. But for me, there's another feature that makes this a desirable chair, especially for the big and tall crowd. I'll break down all aspects of the chair with special emphasis on who is the perfect candidate for the BTOD Akir. I'll start off with the seat. Everyone who sits in the chair will immediately say how good the cush seat feels. The reason it feels so good is that you'll sink in without ever bottoming out, and there's no hard frame anywhere for your body to hit. The large pad style is the most accommodating for different sitting styles. And even though it's lacking in flexibility like the Leap or Embody, you'll regain some of that movement by being able to reposition your body. Later in the vid, I'll break down the thick versus thin seat question. Another great design choice was the waterfall front edge of the seat. This gives the seat a nice downward curve at the front of the seat for great ergonomic support and comfort. The upholstery is a perforated fabric over a solid fabric underneath. This combination gives the easy stretch and compression and feels soft to the touch. The downside is that crumbs and dust can fall into the small holes. A good vacuum and some padding on the material will help bounce and pull the dirt out of it. One other potential downside is that the thick foam seat can feel warm for some people. So if you tend to be hot all the time, this is something to keep in mind. If you're concerned about how much you'll sink into the seat pad, there's also a leather seat version of the Akir. Because of my personal preference to stay more on top of a seat, making movement easier, this is my preferred version. You'll still get that nice cush feel without sinking too far down. This setup will come at an additional cost, but it is in fact genuine leather that is very soft. Now my favorite feature I teased in the intro is actually the Akir's mesh backrest. Mesh backrests have a lot of great benefits, which is why you see them on so many high-end chairs. The best ones give you the perfect amount of suspended support without letting you sink too far into the frame, and the Akir hits that balance perfectly. For the chair nerds out there, anything look familiar about the shape of that frame? Now the Akir must have taken some cues from the king of mesh chairs, the Herman Miller Aeron. And why not? The flared upper portion gives your back enough room to move around in the chair and still avoid hitting the hard frame. The curve built into the backrest pushes extra support into your lumbar region. In addition to the curve, there's also a height adjustable lumbar system that comes standard with the chair. The height adjustment range is large, so you're able to put it in the perfect position for you. One minor complaint is it can be a little difficult to reach back and make that adjustment. The lumbar pad has a nice cushion on it so that it doesn't feel like a hard object pushing into your back. This is the case in some cheaper mesh back chairs. It isn't super aggressive, so if you're looking for the maximum lumbar support, this might not be the chair for you. Another big advantage with a mesh backrest is it gives you breathability. This will help you balance out the warm seat by letting your back vent. The headrest option on the Akir is a nice addition for those that really want that head and neck support. This is especially nice when you want to transition from work to just hanging out in your chair. The headrest is great for really kicking back and relaxing. The mesh is the same as the backrest, it's soft enough and doesn't pull on your hair. The Akir's arms have four-way adjustment. They are height adjustable and the arm caps have depth, width, and swivel adjustment. It's always nice to have the full four-way adjustments, but the range is limited compared to high-end models. The pads slide nicely into place without needing to push any buttons. And once in place, they hold their position well without any unwanted movement. The arm pads are large and the edges are rounded. They do have a little bit of squish to them, but they are on the firm side. I would prefer if they were a bit softer, but the balance here is always that firm pads are a little more durable. The Akir has a huge list of ergonomic adjustments, many of them contributing to why this chair fits such a large range of users. The first adjustment is seat height. In addition to the height being adjustable, you can also purchase 3 different height cylinders. Next up is the seat depth, adjusting for short to long legs. These 2 adjustments allow the chair to accommodate people from about 5'5" to 6'8". This chair has the preferred synchro tilt style mechanism. This is a system where the seat tilts at a smaller angle compared to the back when you lean in the chair. This helps you to keep an ergonomic position throughout the entire recline. The recline tilt angle is lockable in 4 different positions. If, like me, you prefer to keep your seat in the full recline mode, you can use the tilt tension knob to adjust the strength perfect for your weight. As promised, I'll cover who the perfect candidate is for the Akir chair. With the adjustments, options, and 300-pound weight capacity, the Akir fits a wide range of people. Travis from BTOD was comfortable in the chair, with his only complaint being that the arms felt a little too narrow. The high backrest is what makes this a tall man option, as the frame will stay away from your shoulders. Body structure and personal preference will determine if this is a good fit for you. People under 5'8" will want to go with the shorter cylinder, getting the seat height down to 17 inches. Shorter users may still want to add a footrest to their setup. Take a look at our fit guide and see where you fall within these ranges. We hear all the time about how people are uncomfortable in high-end seating, with the complaint often being the firm seat. The Akir is far from firm. The reason so many of the high-end chairs make a thin and firm seat pad is because the research has shown that this design is better for long periods of sitting. At BTOD, we've leaned on Alan Hedge and his research at Cornell that backs this up. At the same time, I personally believe that your body type and personal preferences will play a huge role in determining what's comfortable. If you're on Team Herman Miller, Steelcase, and Hayworth are too firm, then take a long look at the Akir chair. When shopping for the Akir, you'll see 3 different upholstery options to choose from. By far the most popular, and the one I featured in this video, is the mesh back with a fabric seat. This is also the lowest price option. The next option is a mesh seat and a mesh back. Since everyone loves the padded seat of the Akir, I chose not to focus on this version. Finally, there is a mesh back with a leather seat. This is the version I mentioned earlier that I really love. Let's take a quick look at the policies when buying the Akir from BTOD.com. Free returns are allowed within the first 30 days. It has a limited lifetime warranty, with the only limitation being the foam and fabric, which is covered for 5 years. If you want to see how this chair matches up with all of the most popular office chairs, click the link in the video description to receive our full office chair buying guide.